I'm live. Okay, cool. What we are going to talk today? Very interesting topic. We know, how many times do you feel that you are getting very good idea? Oh my God, this is going to be changing the world. Do you feel like that? I'm sure you'll be feeling thousands, if not lakhs, thousands of those kind of idea comes to your mind every single day. you know but then why, even though if you feel that the idea is so exciting, I can change the world, but why do you feel that the 95% of the people, 95% of the startup fails? Why do you think that? We know that we have all the resources, right? We have the technical capability. You may have the marketing strategy. You have all the resources. Probably you have also fund. You may also get the investors. you know but why do you think that the most of the startup fails? Most means 95%. I mean, based on the statistics, what we can see. I have been interacting with many of the product leaders or the founders or the CEOs of small scale companies, and in many interaction, like I love attending networking events or some startup founding, some kind of event, social event. So in those interaction, what I realize and what those leaders tales from their experience is that most of the time, specifically people who are solution oriented, who know how to create the things, who know how to build a product, most of the time there is a missing part, and they actually avoid it most of the time. And which is the primary reason, which is the one of the primary reason to not get to the point of those startup. And in today's topic, I'm going to talk on very important aspect, like customer discovery. Okay, forget about all this naming conventions and the jargons and all, but just remember this name called customer discovery. So what customer discovery is? Suppose you have some idea in your mind. How do you know that? Suppose you have the building capability, you know that how to build that product. For example, it can be a software, or it can be some kind of physical product, whatever of your choice. But the thing is that we think mainly directly to the solution. That is one of the problem. We do not put so much of effort and research to identify, is there any people who are really going to use that solution. So I mean, I have actually created lots of products, lots mean around 2 to 3 good products. I put a good effort to build digital product, mainly the mobile application. I am a mobile engineer, so in that way, I worked in many enterprise applications, and also sometimes, whenever I told you, right, those exciting ideas pop our mind, and then few of those ideas actually I try to build those mobile application as a solution. And you see, nobody knows that actually I build a solution. And one of the reason is that of course I need to let people know that I have built some kind of solution. But before letting people know, why somebody would even care that I have built that something? So that actually answers the questions, right? Is it actually helping somebody to solve some problem? Okay, there are different. If I go to some deeper or in a structured way, probably I can discuss in a separate discussion. But for simplicity, for the normal public, what I'm saying is that whatever the product you build or the services you want to offer, there should be somebody who is going to use that product or service. Now the first thing is, there are two very important things you need to research even before thinking to build that product is a very long journey. I don't even call that a product. Even before getting into the building of that product, you need to go research and do the experiment. You need to see that you know whether there are actually some people who are going to use that solution, or if there are some other solution, then why people will come to your solution. You need to think, right? See, you build a product, you release to the world, but there might be other products as well. You need to think from those users point of view, that why he is going to use that product, right? And if you do not think deeply from users perspective, it is very difficult to build the product, because you need to identify their pain points. It's a very technical term I'm saying, is a pain point, right? You need to have some needs, right? For example, why do we use social media? For example, Facebook or LinkedIn. Why do we use that? Probably, you are bored, or you want to connect with somebody that not physically present. So it is solving some problem, right? So for somebody who might want to get some people to connect with, or who have some luxury of time, but he's trying to spend the time just by scrolling, or you know just browsing what other people are saying or doing. So it is giving some kind of benefit. I'm not going to tell whether it is productive or unproductive, but it is getting some, it's actually giving some value to the user, right? Suppose I'm a Facebook user, suppose I have a Facebook account, and I will scroll it. I will try to see what my friends are doing. Probably, if I see some online friend, probably I can also say hi to him. So in a way, I'm also, it's a opportunity to use my idle time. Okay, so there are multiple benefits, but I'm just trying to convey that that is a one kind of need that Facebook is solving. There can be other application like Ola and Uber. So suppose there are public transport, there are different ways to communicate, but what Ola and Uber is solving, that you can see how many available cars are there around me, and I can see live. Okay, and I can book it. I know that within that particular time the driver is going to reach me. So it is also helping me to avoid those anxiety, that how long time I need to be wait for a cab to go from one destination. So these are the user needs, and so every product is solving some kind of user problem or need, or some kind of benefit it is providing. Now, if you build a product for yourself, I'm not saying for yourself, suppose you are building the product, definitely there should be, you need to build for somebody, right? Then how do you know who is somebody? Then the next questions come. How do you know that somebody will come and use your product, not other product? There are different techniques, if you drill down, and then actually you can figure it out. But I am just giving a very high level overview how this is a structured way of finding the things. It is not that I want to build a product because I have the capability, I have the technical competency, I have resources. But the thing is that you need to think in a way that who are the users, how they are, whether they are going to use my product, to fulfill some of their benefit, some of their, pain points. So you need to completely, research on that before even before uh, going to create or build a product, right? So that is called customer discovery. You need to see some, probably in digital forum, also probably in some other statistics, that how is a market, or how the people are discussing about the product. Okay, or the solution or the pain point. I should not be saying about the product, but what kind of pain points that people are facing. then you actually little bit go deeper. Then where do you find those people? See, I was building one application, I know that what kind of people they are, I mean, who are the people, they are struggling with that, pain points or the needs. But the getting to those points and getting the insight from the customers is also a challenge, because you need to find where do you get enough people such that you need to talk, you can such that you can get a chance to talk, or at least in some way you get some insight. So there are different ways. You can go one to one connection, you can also send some surveys, you can also see how the Reddit posts are in some particular pain points, or some Facebook group also you can see. So there are different ways, but what actually I am trying to emphasize is on that you need to search those user groups, and you need to think where actually you might you know get to interact with, such that you can validate. So initially whenever we think some idea, it is only inside your brain, so you need to validate practically. So how do you validate? And one of the very important first step is go and validate with the people that you may think that okay, he might have that problem. Go and ask some kind of questionnaires. So there is a very good book actually, the mom toast, if you can, mom test. Okay, so that's a very good book. It actually explain how you need to do customer interview, customer discovery, what kind of questionnaires you can ask, such that you can get some insight. See, one more thing, what people says it may not exactly what he does or he or she does. Okay, so you need to understand that what actually he is saying exactly. Is that actually he is experiencing in his life. So you need to observe. So you need to observe. There are different ways to actually observe and find those insights. That is also a very important aspect. Even I am also quite interested. I like those kind of aspect of building the product or any ideas on face. So this is how the preliminary stage, what I call that, if you do not understand who are going to be your user, or who are the people are actually struggling with that point, or they might be beneficial for your product. So you need to identify that, and there are subsequent process. So it's a structured way to, if you want to build a product where people are going to use it. So today my main focus was to give an overview of what is the first point. Then in the subsequent sessions I'll be going deeper into how actually it is done, such as suppose if you have some idea that you can actually experiment, and you can see that whether it is worth building. I'm sorry, one of the point I forgot to mention in the beginning that whatever whatever the idea you have, you need to also see whether it is really worth building. I mean, is it really worth putting that much of the money, effort, or whatever to build that solution or product? So you need to go and see there are many other aspects of product building. Okay, so but the first thing is that you need to do the customer research, see that whether there is actually some pain point that is worth solving. Okay, so I think with that curiosity, I just intentionally making a question mark on your mind, that you just think that how do you actually go and how do you search those users that you think that that pain points can have. And probably in the subsequent session we can discuss how actually we can go much deeper into the customer discovery. How do you actually evaluate the pain points, how do you where do you research, and what how do you actually get those insights, and what do you do after getting those insights. That is a very methodical way. Okay, and it has been proven that if you followed those process, so you are actually de-risking of your building your startup. So with that note, we'll come back again with the same topic with a much deeper discussion, and thanks for now.